This was the first time I ever smashed out a clay liner out of a chimney, so I had to come up with a few things in order to do that. The first 2 or 3 feet down from the top of the chimney, I smashed the clay out with a hammer, and that went fairly easy. But from there down, I had to come up with a couple of different ideas, and the first thing I came up with was a clay smasher. And all this is 3 pieces of chain. I welded some pieces of angle iron on the end of the chain to give it some weight. And this is a 8-inch piece of 1/2-inch piping with a 1/2-inch to 3/8 coupling on there. And that attaches to the end of my rods. Now these rods I use for cleaning out the chimney, and they screw right in there. And then on this end, I attached, now this is a 5/8 fine thread bolt, and that's the closest thing I could come to the 3/8 pipe fitting. And I screw that in there, tighten down this lock nut, and then I have my impact driver, which I use, which has good power. And this is a 5/16 socket, which fits over here. Basically, I just run this down into the chimney and turn it on, and smash the clay tiles up. But the only thing I found by using this was it was cracking the tiles, but it wasn't smashing up in little bits, and most of them were standing against the chimney. So after I would smash a tile, I would have to stick something down like a long rod and try to pry the tiles loose. But the further I got down, the harder that became. So I tried to come up with another device. So this here, I just took a piece of flat iron. This is about a 1/2-inch piece of iron, got good weight to it. And I took a 4-inch piece of 1/2-inch pipe again. I cut the threaded end off and welded that to the plate. And then again I took a 1/2-inch to 3/8 coupling and did the same thing, attached this to the rod. And I had, at one time there, I had 4 rods on this. Lower it down into the chimney. It kept adding rods on top. Put the impact driver on, smash up a couple tiles, and then I took this iron bar, which I have for digging post holes, and what I did was I took a bit of rubber, this is just from an old tube, wrapped that around the pipe. This is just an old clamp, plumber's clamp. Fasten that onto there. Then I take this piece of rope, and I just made a couple of half hitches here. And that. Slide that up against the rubber. And then put a couple half hitches on this end. And then I could lower this down in the chimney and knock those tiles loose. And I did that the full length of the chimney until they all came out of the bottom. That was a dirty job cleaning them clay tiles out of that chimney.